Welcome to another episode of Unlearn, Relearn YouTube content.
Yes, thank you for joining and tuning in again, friends.
So today's video, we're going to be watching and reacting to a Jane Elliot conversation on Red Table Talk. Yeah. You see that in the description. And this is in our Black History Month series of content that we're going to be reacting to. Yeah. Couple of things before we get into this video. Follow, like, share, subscribe. Absolutely. Hit the notification bell. Leave us a comment in the comment section and we will respond. And follow our socials at Wilson Holtz, I'd Rather Yoga, yes. Unlearn, Relearn Podcast. On Instagram.
Podcast on Instagram.
On Instagram. Cash App, Unlearn Relearn Pod. Email unlearnrelearn.podcast@gmail.com. Reach out if you have any videos that you want us to react to. And with all of those housekeeping things out of the way, let's get into this video. Again, Jane Elliot, Red Table Talk, and let's get into it. Video pops up right now. Bam. And let's get into it.
What do you think we need to do? We need to stop believing the myth. In this country, what we call education is actually indoctrination. And it takes us from the age of 5 to the age of 18 to thoroughly indoctrinate people so that they will believe in the myth of white superiority. And it is a myth. Right. Now, you can't do that while you're teaching that Columbus discovered America. Right. There were black people on this continent 4,000 years before Columbus was born. Right. We teach black history in the schools as if it started with slavery. I'm not a white woman. I'm a faded black person. My people move far from the equator. And that's the only reason my skin is lighter. That's all any white person is. Because we are great. Hey. Because there's no such thing as race. No, there's no such thing as race. There's one race. There's one race, the human race. And then we all came from the same black women. 300,000 to 500,000 years ago.
Now, just real quick, obviously I agree with every single thing she said. The interesting part about Jane Elliot is she's been doing this work. Oh my God. She's been doing this work since TV was black and white. Put it like that. If you do not know who Jane Elliot is, you definitely need to go do a deep dive on her videos. Look
into her different experiments that she's done, the different stuff that she's done with the school children. She's done it with older age
adults.
People, with adults.
She's done it with college students. It's the blue-eyed, brown-eyed experiment. Yeah. Is what she's she's known for. Yeah, and being an educator, traveling around to a lot of colleges and doing this work. And so this was just another opportunity for her. It's interesting to see that in this video she's still at it. Yeah. She's well into her 70s and 80s. She's still at this work. Absolutely. Her work is impressive. Please check her out if you get the opportunity to.
Human race began with black women. My cousins, and you are all my cousins. Make no mistake about this. We are all 30th to 50th cousins because we all have the same black great-great-great-great-great-great-grandmother back there 300,000 to 500,000 years ago. Mm-hmm. So get over the idea that you are white. There's one race. Yeah. The human race. The human race. One race. Now, will every person in this group who's biracial please stand? Biracial. Stand. Oh, I told you there's only one race. Damn it, you got me. And you too. How dare you? Didn't you listen to anything I said? We were listening. It just takes a minute, Jane. Let me ask you this. How long do you think the idea of race has been around? Since the beginning of time? That's just what I thought you were going to say. And you are just as wrong as you can be.
I was going to say since around the 1400s.
Right. It started with the Spanish Inquisition. Before that, race was not a problem. But they found out that they were killing people who were of their religious belief, but they couldn't tell what their religion was by looking at them. So they had to find another way to identify those they were going to kill. So they set upon skin color.
Yeah. And that's been with us for the last 500-600 years. Yeah. It's interesting that she's giving an education that we don't get in our schools. And she even said it.
Right.
In the very beginning, she says, school is not for education, it's for indoctrination.
Right.
And I think part of our work, reason why we say unlearn,
Yeah.
is that there is a lot of stuff that we need to unlearn.
Right.
Before we can move to the relearn,
Right.
or the actual learn, which is to learn some of the things that we should know. But it's a process.
It is.
And don't begrudge people and be upset with people when it seems like they're taking a long time to unlearn things. It's usually things that they have to have learned over 13, 14 years of being in school. So,
And then just being alive.
and then just being in.
We have also been indoctrinated with the myth of white superiority. We've got pictures of the baby Jesus who looks like the little Pillsbury Doughboy.
Right.
He didn't look like the Pillsbury Doughboy.
That's true.
And it says in the Bible that Jesus had kinky woolly hair and feet of bronze.
Yep.
Here's what you can do. You can educate yourself. The schools won't do it.
They won't.
They don't
won't.
want you to know the truth. They can't
Exactly.
afford to have blacks know the truth. But what you have to realize is within 30 years, white people will have become a numerical minority in the United States of America. Now, blacks and people of other color groups have got to stop playing defense and start playing offense.
I think that part of what the responsibility that we as a black community need to take on is educating ourselves and preparing ourselves
Oh, absolutely.
for what's to come.
Absolutely. You need to educate yourself
Yes.
and your children
Yes.
before they go to school.
Exactly.
And when they come home from school spouting this crap that they've learned in school,
Absolutely.
then you need to take them inside and say, here, look at this. Here's what really happened.
Right.
There's one race, the human race. And
Yes, I love that she said to go back and, talk with your kids about these things, because it's absolutely true. It's absolutely true. There's so much of our history that isn't being taught. There's so much that's being left out. And there's obviously, the history that we learn in school is taught from a specific narrative and taught from a very specific lens. So we need to make sure that is that the lens that we're actually wanting to look through.
Mm-hmm. And it's interesting because, when we look at what we are taught, people say, oh, the schools don't prepare us correctly, but a lot of people spend the rest of their lives not doing any more work.
Right.
They spend the rest of their lives just saying, well, that was what that was it. No reason to do any more research, no reason to take any more courses or classes or follow any more educators or anything like that. And that's one of the main purposes of our podcast, is we want you to understand that not only did the work not stop, but you need to catch up.
Yeah.
Because there's so much
Do
stuff.
your own work. Do your own research. What we learn in school is not enough. What you see on social media is not enough. What Fox News or CNN or MSNBC or whatever news company you listen to, whatever they're saying is not enough. You need various sources so you can also get the full spectrum, get the full broad overview of what this is, and make your own decision based off of the information that you have.
Yeah, and this is what the work is. Yeah. I mean, yes, we watched a video by Jane Elliot. Yes, she says a lot of things that we already agree with, but there's still more exploration. There's still more work to be done. Yeah. You have to look for sources that you agree with. You also have to look for sources you don't agree with.
Yes.
Black History Month, they're going to give you specific things that they want you to celebrate. Artists, thinkers, talkers, musicians, athletes. It is on you to now go and look for the things and the people that they won't tell you about. The other thinkers, the other thought leaders that they're not going to tell you about.
Right.
This is what your work is.
Absolutely.
And so, yeah, that's going to be our video for this week.
So do the work, friends. Check
the number
out
one
Jane
thing
Elliot.
is to do the work.
Yeah, check out Jane Elliot. Make sure you subscribe to us. Keep following along our videos. We're going to continue to do more like this. Not only reaction videos, but also just videos on different topics and discussions. So definitely reach out, and yeah, as always, friends.
As always, thank you so much for hanging out with us as we unlearn the BS and
relearn the good stuff.
All right, guys, we will see you on the next video. Like, follow, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and we'll see you again. Please take care of yourself.
Bye, friends.